So if you've had a chance to taste my Syrah, this is the block that it's coming from. This is where these grapes are grown. And I will tell you that without the angel funding and without your support, making wine from a vineyard this nice just wouldn't be possible. This is one of the premier vineyards in this area. There's a waiting list to get on for the fruit, and I've been working with this grower for 12 years, and they're very excited to be working with us. We're very excited to be working with them, and all of this is so that ultimately we can put a nice bottle of wine together for you, the angels.
My name is George Unti. I own the Unti Vineyards, and I've been selling fruit to Tim for about 12 years, and we've had a very good working relationship. I think he's a good winemaker and easy to get along person.
I started working with this vineyard actually the last year of a brand previous to Olson, which was 2001. And then when I started my own brand up with a partner, we came to George and continued working together, and it's been a great relationship. We made some incredible wines under the Olson label, many 90 plus score wines. And then as Olson was closing down and I was transitioning, and thanks to the angels was able to come on board with Naked Wines and continue working with this great vineyard. It's been a really nice transition, and I think we continue to grow. We've added fruit from what we did before, and it just continues to develop, so it's been real good for me.
What drew me to this region was the beauty of the valley, and we were able to find this piece of property. It appealed to my wife and I, and intuitively this looked like a good place to grow grapes. And the very first vineyard we planted was our Syrah vineyard here that Tim gets the bulk of his fruit from.
You know, people talk about a vineyard as if it's just, you know, one vineyard or a variety in a block, but really we've come to realize that each vine is unique to itself, and even within a well-drained hillside, you'll have variations in the conditions.
Good drainage is important for all grape growing. If you don't have good drainage, I think you have difficulty growing grapes. And you don't have to be on a hillside to have good drainage, but it helps.
You don't want the vines, in particular the roots, sitting in water constantly, what they call wet feet. They need to go through a cycle of dryness and water access. But you know, we've come to learn in the last few years that there's a practice now called deficit irrigation, which alludes to drainage really, and
right.
It's how the vines ultimately are signaled to change over from vegetative growth in the summer to ripening their crop levels, a process we call veraison. In selecting vineyards and growers to work with, you know, as a winemaker, I don't have complete control over how the fruit's grown, so to me a lot of it depends on the person themselves. I would much prefer a great site and a great grower, but if I have to pick one over the other, I'm going to take somebody with a great attitude. You know, what I say an A farmer with a B site versus an A site with a B farmer, because that A farmer is going to get everything out of the land that's there. When we sat down up front 12 years ago and kind of discussed what we looked for, it's been pretty much that way since then. I don't have to really offer any suggestions for changes as much as come up and visit and just check progress. But you know, this place is farmed about as well as I could ever imagine farming it if it was my own. So that's a real plus in a relationship, is somebody that just kind of gets it, and George gets it.
It's always been our attitude to do the best we can to grow the best fruit we can with what we have, and I think we do a pretty good job of that.
I would agree. I would heartily agree.